All right, let's talk about that elusive leadership quality of balance. Let's face it, if you work around on places like this, they're busy. They take a lot of time. They take a lot of hours, long hours. Got to make the schedule, and often work-life balance suffers. Look, the job's got to get done, but we also have to understand that the impact that these long hours are having on our people and ourselves. So here's a couple of tips for you. First, learn to say no. You don't have to say yes to everything that comes in front of you. Now look, I realize that if your boss says, hey, we need to be here, you need to be here. But if the boss is that unreasonable, maybe you don't need to be working for that company, you know? So learn to say no. I remember when my son was young playing flag football. One Saturday morning as we're getting ready to start a game, there's another kid running onto the field, and he's taking off his soccer uniform, putting on his football uniform, and then he plays soccer. And as soon as they were done, the kid's running off the field, putting on his baseball uniform. I'm thinking, my gosh, how about a little downtime? Our kids didn't play 3 sports a season. They played 1 sport a season. So it's an example. You don't need to say yes to every invite you get. You know, sure, I like to go to parties and I like to socialize with people, but sometimes I need to figure out what my downtime is, which gets to the next one. How do you recharge? How do you fill those batteries of yours? For some people, it's reading a quiet book. For some people, it's having a quiet meal. For some people, it's having a big meal with a big party. For some people, it's going to the gym or taking a hike. I don't know what it is for you, but do you know what it is for you? And are you spending enough time recharging? Heck, we spend more time recharging our phones than we do recharging ourselves. So how do you recharge? And you're creating space for that. I had a guy a couple months ago really just not having a good time, and I asked him what his hobbies were, and he's like, well, boating. I'm like, well, when's the last time you got on the boat? He goes, I don't know. I'm like, well, go get on the boat. Like, that doesn't solve everything, but it begins to get you moving in that direction. So, and then finally, get help. You know, maybe you could outsource something. I don't know whether it's cutting the lawn or doing the laundry or whatever, and or maybe you need help with planning and scheduling to get a grip on that, and maybe you need help with some of the crazy stuff that might be going on inside from a mental health perspective, just to learn to deal with it, with some of the anxiety and stress we have. But you need not go through this life alone. So balance is elusive. I think it's really difficult in the short term, but it's mandatory in the long term. You know, for example, I'm not too busy during the summer with my construction clients because you guys are out here getting it done. But, October through March or April, I'm spending a lot of time on the road, a lot of time with you, and I love it. But so over the course of the year, I have balance. So, hey, subscribe here. Make sure you get some more of these great tips on construction leadership from A to Z. And right below is my contact information. Feel free to get in touch. I love having these conversations. Take care. Get balanced.